Hi, this is Lisa from Local King Rubber Stand. Today I'm going to show you how to use a Local King's step die to double size your cutting area. This is the card that I use the same step die cut to create those two large size card. It's pretty unique, and then you don't even need like a big die cut machine. Let me show you how. That's started. Okay, this is what the step die looks like, and I'm going to show you this is the regular car that you can make by this step die. So this is the A2 size car that you can make, and I love this step die because you can decide which section you want to have the step. So if you want to have the step on the right side, you fold it this way. If you want to have the step on the left side, you kind of just rotate it and it becomes this side. And then how I'm going to use this step die to create a larger car like this, that's pretty unique technique. So in today's tutorial, I'm going to show you one pattern first, and this is the first pattern that we're going to use a step die. This part, the standing part, is going to be the middle. And then the next tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a this car. This section is on the right and left side. So it's kind of like a totally reverse car, but they are all made by one die cut. And then in today's tutorial is going to be a two-part. The first part I'm going to show you how to create this main part, and then the second part I'm going to show you how to add the wiring if you're interested. So I think this is an awesome car, and then they also have lights on and lights off. So that's started. Okay, first we are going to have a one letter size cardstock, and I prefer to use a little bit thicker cardstock. So this is a Cougar 100 pound, and then I already do a screwing. I found the middle of this cardstock, and I just use my screw tool to screwing one. If you don't have a screw pile, what you can do is just use a stylus, just mark the center of this letter size cardstock. Okay, so and then we can just fold in half and then give a little bit pressing, so in the half, right? Okay, and then we are going to use our step die cut. So this step die cut, we're going to have a promotion, so just make sure you check our website. I'm going to offer a pretty good deal for this step die. This step die is come with the main die cut and also 4 very unique corner. And then I'm going to show you a sample. Yeah, I'm going to just add in the tutorial so you can see what this corner die looks like. It's pretty unique. Okay. So if we want to, you can see this step die cut. The dotting area is going to be the folding area. The solo line is your die cut line. And then this when we use this die, like today, I don't even use die cut machine because I don't have the die cut machine can run through the whole letter size sheet. So I'm going to show you how we can cheat it. Okay, so I am going to just place my die cut on top of this letter size, and here have a little triangle, and then I'm going to just kind of mark a little bit there so I can see better, and then make sure that dotting folding area is the center of that triangle. Okay, and then I am going to use the washi tape, just kind of secure it, and then most of the time we're going to run to the machine, right? But I don't have a machine this large size. What I'm going to do is actually pretty simple. You can kind of use your finger, kind of just pressing the back of the cardstock, and then you can feel that scrolling line and the dotting line. So I'm going to show you. See, you can really see that, right? And then, because I don't have a die cut machine, so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to just use a fork. And then, I can kind of just screwing this die cut area. For the folding area, for the folding line, the dotting line, you don't have to worry about it because we don't want it cut, right? But for the solid line, we're going to die cut it. So you can continue just keep rubbing your fork on top of that solid line. They will cut it. So that's just do the best we can, okay? And then if he's not cutting it, we can just cut it with a scrap knife. But if you continue kind of just pushing that solid line, is the, see, it almost cut it, right? But if it doesn't cut it, that's okay. So we can do, just take a look, and then you can see this mark, but they are not completely cut through, but that's okay. We are going to just use a craft knife. Okay, and then we are going to flip over your cardstock, and you can see the dotting line is one line and there's three lines there, right? So I'm going to just rotate my die cut, and I'm going to do on the left side, the right side of my card, and then I am going to just make sure I put that folding line in the middle of that triangle. Okay, that's this. So make sure, okay, you got to, the same, when you do this side, you do this, right? And then you want to do the other side, you just rotate it and do the exactly parallel. Okay, now, okay, but the one thing you got to make sure that little triangle and that folding line have to be in the middle of that triangle. Otherwise, see, I cannot really see that folding line. So I just use a pencil, kind of mark that line, and then you can erase it later. It doesn't matter. Okay, and now rotate it. I'm going to use mine. Okay. Just kind of, you can use your finger. Actually, you can feel that line is kind of poking out, and don't worry, it's not going to cut through the paper. And then you just use this piece of metal. A spoon will do too. I think a spoon probably even works better because it's more smooth. Okay. Remember, the dotting line is the folding line, so you don't want, you just want to mark there, helping you to fold. The main part is this solid line. The solid line is going to be your die cut line. So if you continue pushing that line, it's going to cut through it. But I am going to, okay, I'm going to just cut it with my craft knife. So that's what's it look like. And then I am going to just grab my knife. I am going to just, it's only two cut and it's a straight cut. So because you already kind of scrolling, that make this cutting is very easy. So one line and two line. It's very easy because we already kind of, you know, rubbing, pushing with that my fork, right? Okay, so now the folding one. First of all, we already fold in half, right? And then you can use your scrolling tool or my forks. Okay, and then watch here. Here is how you do it. You see the dotting line, right? You kind of just folding it. One in, one out, one in. That's what it looks like. And the other side, one in, one out, one in, one out, one in. And then you just use your forks. Ta-da! That's your foundation. And then the rest of them is pretty easy. So this is the centerpiece. You can check my last tutorial. The last tutorial I was showing 3 different kind of coloring technique for the background. I was showing you how to do the shooting moon, full moon, crescent moon, and the daytime and nighttime view. And then we are going to just, I already pre-colored the stuff here. But there's one more tip I'm going to share with you before we move on. My little Cooper. And then we have this punch. Unfortunately, this Martha store punch has been discontinued. It's grass. The reason it discontinued is because there's a lot of die cut available now. So you can find a grass die cut to decorate your main car, something like that. Okay, and look at these foam boots, and then there's a light. Can you see the light is on and off? Okay, so we are going to decorate this one, and then I am going to show you one more tip. Okay, see the difference between this one and this one. This one, because my die cut is a hollow, right? So after you cut it, there's nothing in the back to support it. Not like this one. This one have some backing. And then how I can create this one. So here is the great tips for you. You are going to just grab any color you like. You get like this one. I think I use a red color, and I just use my magic mushroom to kind of give it some little color, make it a little bit back off. And then we're going to use the same die cut. We're going to run to a machine to die cut. And then you're going to ask me, yeah, after you die cut it, is it going to be like this? So how can it become like this? So this is a great tips for you. After you die cut it, before you pop out your die cut off from your the paper off from the die cut, here's what you're going to do. You are going to use a regular tape, clear tape, or the reposition tape. You are going to tape the back. So after you taping those back, that can preventing those cutting piece loose, right? But you got to make sure you push that tape well. And then now, oops, still have a one is pop. See, got to push well. So push back, and I'm going to just put that piece back. So that's how I create the backing. Make sense? Isn't that a great tip? Okay, so I have all my die cut ready, and then I just have to glue it. And then for the centerpiece, make sure you check our last 2 tutorial. I was showing how to create those beautiful background with our magic mushroom. So make sure you check it out. And then I forgot to mention the stem set that I use for this car is called the European Vacation. There's a stem and the matching die, and also our silence background. That's a very popular background. And then for the step die is here. They have these 4 beautiful corner dies. They come as a bonus, and that's what it look like when you use that die cut to cut it. So I am going to offer a great promotion until the end of this month. The step die cut regular price is about, I give 40% off plus free shipping fee. So it's only $20.99 now. It's a free shipping. You get the whole set like this. You save very good money for this die cut. So that's today's tutorial. I am going to move on to our part 2. The part 2 tutorial, I am going to show you how to add these lights. If you are interested, if you are not, just waiting for the next tutorial. I am going to show you how to use the step die to create a different kind of pattern. Okay. Hi, this is Lisa from Local King Rubber Stand. So this is the part 2 of the tutorial. The part 1, I was showing you how to use step die to extend your cutting area to make a double size of the step card. And then by the second part of this tutorial, I'm going to show you how we can add the light on this car and how to do the wiring. So you can just watch it if you're interested. If you're not, you can just move to our next tutorial. Okay, recently I'm kind of addicted to those cars that I can add lights on. So if you have never tried those paper circles yet, make sure you watch this tutorial, because this tutorial is my first tutorial. I was explaining how to do the wiring. And later on, I make another tutorial like this one. And it's just so interesting. You can just add the lights to your car, and then these phone booths too. Okay, so the last tutorial, I kind of want to add the switch on that. So I create this sliding car. So when you slide the car, that light is kind of on and off. Okay, can you see the light is kind of on and off. And then I was working on this large car, so and I want to add the lights too. So and I kind of want to add a switch. So I was to put the switch here. You kind of have to touch it, and it will turn on, turn off. And then, but I kind of want to sometimes want to keep the lights on all the time. So I decide to put the switch on the telephone booth. So when you close the door, the light will keep it on. When you open it, the light will be turned off. So and let me show you how. So have all your die cuts ready before we do the wiring. In this car, I was using the green color for my Mini Cooper, and I just found out the color is kind of, you know, blending to my background. And then I tried the yellow one, and the color is still too close to my background. It doesn't really stick out. So and I end up trying the red one, and I really like the red one. So what you do is you pre-cut. You can do all your stuff first, but always try to make a prototype. And I show you, I actually make a 3 prototype. So this was my first prototype. It's I kind of lost in the middle of them. It's complicated. And then I move on to the other prototype. And then finally, it get work. This is my final prototype. So if this is the first project for you, it's a good idea to make a prototype before you use your final cards. Otherwise, you make mistake, punch the hole in the wrong place. You have to restart again. That's really painful. So prototype is always a good idea. Okay, so that's started. You know, local King Robertson online DVD library is all about educate. It's about teaching you how you can make your car, and it is doable. So a lot of planning, even though this is just a short tutorial, sometimes 10 minutes or 20-30 minutes, it actually takes me a lot of time to planning, because I want to make sure when you watch my tutorial, you can follow the step and you can make that happen. So like this car, the wiring actually has spent hours on that, because sometimes in the middle of that I'm confused. If I'm confused, you're going to be very confused. So that way it's going to be so frustrated. So a lot of planning, and then I want to make sure that you can do it. So if you find out this tutorial is very helpful, I really like to ask you to help us to share this awesome company on the Facebook or with your friends. That would be very helpful. So I have been explaining too many different kind of wire that you can find, but recently I finally find the best wire that I will highly recommend it. So this is the wire that we use to connect your smart TV. So the head is kind of like this. Okay, so you can also use the cable wire. You can just cut those plastic part, and inside have too many little wire. Like this one of these TV cable wire, I think they probably have a 14-15 different small wire here. And then I love this one because this is very fine, so it's easy to change the shape, and also they have this plastic coating, so when you connect with your wire, you know, if you don't have this, you just use the wire part or is the copper tape. If any tape touch each other, they won't work. So this plastic is kind of preventing if your two wires is overlapping together, and then they will prevent they will work, they will not stop to connect the battery, the power. Okay, so this is the one I really recommend it. And then if you have an extra, like I have a few extra at home, and the one cable probably like 2-3 feet, you can make a lot of car. If you don't have it, you can check a dollar store. I think dollar store is the cheapest place you can find, $4-5. If you go to Home Depot or like a hardware store, I don't think so. You can find the Litz wire, because this is like I just found out is good for crafting. I don't think so they sell individual wiring like this. Okay, so we're going to use a 3 light bulb, and always, this is a tiny LED light. Always make sure you testing your light bulb before you start your project, because sometimes if they are not working, so after all your hard job, do all the hard job you work, and then you cannot turn it on, that will be very painful. So I'm going to have a 3 light bulb, and then from my previous tutorial, this kind of LED light, because we are only use this small battery, sometimes you cannot change the color, they have to stay in the same color. Different color, they have a different kind of voltage. So like that train was working, I want to use one green, one red, and then it doesn't work, so I have to switch to different kind of LED light. Okay, so always testing your light bulb first, and I have my wire ready. This wire is awesome because they have different colors. So I use one color for my positive, one color for my negative, so that way I don't confuse. We are going to need one paper clip. Okay, make sure the paper clip that is not covered with those kind of plastic. It have to be the metal. And I have one brad. This is going to be my switch. So I just pre-cut my my die cut already, and then you can see I have a one color one, and I also cut one more piece from my watercolor cardstock, because this one we're going to working with the light, right? And then just regular coated cardstock is not very strong, so I kind of just make sure I can reinforce with a double coated to make sure that this one is not wiggly, because we are going to mount with the foam tape. And here is very narrow. I don't want to break my car, so my phone booth door, so I just cut one extra piece. And then I have the other 2 pieces, phone booths. One is for behind like this, okay, and the other one is after I do my wiring, I want to use this one to kind of cover my wiring, so when the people receive the car, they don't see those wires, they will all be hidden. Okay, have you tried this 3-in-1 advanced craft glue? I really like this glue because this glue is actually dry pretty fast. Sometimes if you have some tiny area, the tape cannot reach it. This is the good glue that I use for gluing, and then they dry pretty fast. So just apply a little bit glue, and I'm going to just reinforce my telephone booths first. They actually dry pretty fast. Okay, so that's my phone booth. Okay, now are you ready for the wiring? Okay, this wiring actually is very simple, but is very confused. So what I do is I draw a map, and then you just follow the map. So I have a car here, and I have a phone booth here. I have a blue line and a red line. Blue line is going to represent the negative. The red line is going to represent the positive. But my wire, they don't have a red one, so I'm going to just use white. But when I draw in the map, I cannot use white because you cannot see. Okay, so just download this map. It's very clear. I was showing on my map how many wire you need, how many and how long you need it. So like for example, for the negative one, we need 4 wire. They all have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we need 2 4 inches and 2 7 inches. They are just approximately, okay? And then each wire have a number. So for example, you can see like these 2 light bulb for my car. I write down the wire 1. So you're going to connect your negative to the wire 1. And then I need the positive, that will be the red one, so it's the white wire. You're going to connect the number 1. So you just follow out this instruction, and I am sure you can do it. And then just kind of compare this instruction in my tutorial. I guarantee it is not that complicated you think of it. So that's started. Okay, so I have trimmed my wire already. I have a 4 blue one, which is my negative one, and I have a 3 white one is my positive one. Okay, and then we are going to use a white plier, and then the size that I provide, I kind of give a little bit extra gap, so you can, it's just in case, you know, a little bit longer is better than a little bit shorter. And then we're going to use this wire. We're going to remove that coating. So it's very, very easy. Just probably, okay, can you see? Let's see. You are going to, you can see the wire area, right? So all the wire, you have to remove both ends. So on my layout, you can see that blue line and the red line in the middle have all black fine line. The black fine line that is present the copper wire area. So you got to make sure they are connect with your light. Okay. So just to make sure you take a look at this map, and then you will find. So I'm going to trimming all my wire, make sure I remove the both end, and I wanted that wire part to connect with my light bulb and my paper clip and my battery. Okay, so I have all my 7 wire trimmed ahead. They all show the wire part now. If you go to Home Depot, they do sell the wire by meters or by feet, by foot. But those wire, you want to make sure they are soft, like almost like a hair. If they are too thick, you won't be able to connect with the light bulb. You want a very soft one. Also, I found out if the thick one, when you kind of wrapping around the light bulb or you twist 2 wire together, they easily break it off. So you wanted something very like fine and flexible. So the first, we are going to working for the light A and B, and then I need my blue cable and the white cable, and then see number one. So that means I need 1 4 inches blue and 1 4 inches red, which is white because I don't have the red cable. You know what I mean. Okay, and also on the light bulb, you can see there is negative and positive. The negative light is a little bit shorter than the positive light. So on the light bulb, you can see there is two metals. One is shorter. So the shorter one is your negative, and your negative should be the blue color, right? So I am going to just use my blue wire and then connecting, just kind of twist it, maybe like 2 centimeters wire. So you just want to make sure they connect very well. Okay, so kind of just twist it. Okay, this one is too fine, so that's just okay. Okay, so and then the second light bulb, I'm also going to connect with the negative one. So 1 wire connect both light bulb, both shorter wire. So that's what to look like. Okay, so that's the A and B. The shorter connect with the one blue, and then now I'm going to use my white, the white one. So it's the positive to connect the both positive one. That will be the longer wire. Okay, so just connect them. Okay, so that's going to be my headlight for my car. Okay, so now we are going to working on the phone booth. On the phone booth, you can see we have the light C, and then the light C need 2 negative and 1 positive. So 2 negative, we need a wire number 2, and then we need a wire number 3. So that means is 1 4 inches and 1 7 inches. So I have my 7 inches negative here. Okay. And I have my 4 inches. So I have a 7 inches and 4 inches together, right? And then I am going to rubbing these two together on my light bulb, the negative one. Okay, so the negative one is the shorter one. So I'm going to just rubbing, like a twisting. Make sure my 2 blue cable is kind of twisting around my light bulb. So you can see one is a long one is a short one. And down on the map, you can see one is a short one, number 2, and one is a long one, number 3. Okay, and then now we are going to use a positive one. So that's number 3, 7 inches one. So I'm going to connect the 7 inches positive on my phone booth light bulb C. So, okay. Just make sure they are very tightly twist around that wire. You don't want them loose in the middle of your artwork. Okay, so that's my my phone booth light bulb C's wiring. One short one, one long one, and one positive one. Okay. Okay, because we are making one car in one booth, I want my wire go on in the back. So that's why I didn't connect them together. So now I just get it ready, and I'm going to put on my car hold, like my main car. So now I am going to use a number 2 positive. See the number 2 here. So I'm going to use number 2 positive. So it's the 7 inches wire one, and I am going to connect with one of these light bulb, A or B, it doesn't matter. So I am going to connect on the positive, just one of the light bulb, they will work. So we kind of just twist it around the light bulb. Okay, so now we are ready to punch the hole. So this is for my car. You can see I have a one negative, one positive connect with my 2 light bulb, and I have a one extra negative, sorry, positive, the white one is a positive, connect with my one of the light bulb. And later on, we just have to connect positive to positive and then negative to the negative. Okay, so let me just do the punch first, and then we go step by step. Okay. Okay, those LED light, they come with different sizes. The one I have here is a 5mm. I actually bought the 3mm one. The color, the light is not bright enough. So if you make a bigger car, they probably don't really show. So I'm using the 5mm light bulb for this project. So first we are going to punch 2 holes the light area. So you just use a circle punch. Punch the hole here. Okay, and then you are going to just poking that one of the light there, and then you can kind of just kind of make it like a 90-degree the light bulb. Okay, kind of poking. They will fit perfectly. So okay, so that's what look like. And I'm going to just use the tape to kind of secure, don't want them move, and make sure the light is nice and straight. Okay, actually before I tape it, I actually have to add one more wire. So you can see, or have a two red one, right? The positive one. So, or we also have to make one more on the negative one. So on the light bulb, you can see there is a one, have a two white one and one just blue, right? So now we are going to add one extra blue one to connect with the light A. Okay, so now you can see the light A have two extra wire, right? Because those two we're gonna connect with our phone booth and or switch. Okay, so I just use the tape to secure my light here. Okay, so the A have one extra white one and one extra blue one. So just looking for your map. So the A, see I have a two positive one and the two blue negative one. And then you just tape in the back, and then they are ready to connection with my phone booth. Okay, so I have my phone booth here already, and I'm going to use the one, okay, in the back. I am going to just punch a hole first, and then that will be my light here, right? And because this light is almost like a 1/4 inches, right? So that way I have to make sure my phone is also like a 1/4 inch thickness. So this is the great tutorial I was showing before, the phone tape. This phone tape is probably just a 1/8 thickness. So I want to make a 1/4 thickness. All you have to do is just kind of folding the two phone tape. So that's how we double the thickness. And be careful, they are very sticky. Okay, and then we're going to just trimming here. That's how I thicker my phone tape, by folding two together. Okay, here is my phone booth. Let's take a look in the back. Remember my light bulb C. Here we have a two blue one line cables and the one red one, right? And then the one number 2 wire, we're going to create a switch, and the number 3 wire we are going to connect with the ball number A and the B. So this is what it look like in the back. I have a 2 blue one. The shorter one, I puncture a hole in the corner. I want to bring it to the front. And then the other 2, one positive and one negative, in the back, and I just tape it, and then so that way I can hide my wire. And then I am also going to kind of tape the other one here, so that way we don't see that wire. Well, actually, when we was putting the wire, we tried to put all the wire on the one corner, because here I actually have to puncture a circle. So we are going to use this is 5A size. We are going to just punch a circle on that phone booth. That will be the place we have our battery. So the battery is going to be like this, and then this extra wire is going to become our switch. Okay, and then what I did is I just use this bread and I just connect with my wire number 2 because the wire is so fine, only like a hairy wire, right? So I want to have a good connection to the battery. So when I add this one, the surface is bigger than just one tiny wire. So it's just when you open close the door, and then I will make sure they touch the battery. So that's just make sure it works before we continue. So we are going to do blue is negative and the white is the positive. Yeah, it worked. So this one, because it's made with the metal, so it's just when you touch that battery, it's just work just fine. So and also this bread and create some kind of depth, right? Because our foam tape is almost like a quarter inches thickness, so we kind of have to have some height to touch the battery. So I just found out this is the perfect to do that. And then I'm going to just glue the door, okay, and then make sure that bread is in the middle of that circle. Okay, so here is my foam boots, and you can take a look. I kind of cover here with the extra piece and then 2 wire here, and then that bread is poking here to connect with the battery. So let's see is can we turn on or not. So the door, this is the door, you can close or open it, and then let's just make sure it works before we connect. Yeah, it perfectly can turn it on. Okay, and then now my car is going to park around here, right? So because my wire is very fine, all we have to do is just use a poking tool to poke 2 holes. Okay, and then we put that blue and the white wire go through that hole. Okay, and then you can see I have 2 wire here, and then I'm going to just put the clear tape to secure those 2 wires. That's what it looks like in the front. Okay, and now we're going to add our foam boots. The foam boots, you can see there's on the corner there's 1 circle punch, right? So that's going to be the battery. And also I have 2 wire here. These 2 wire we can just use punch 1 hole. That's fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of eyeball it. That's the place I want to have my battery here. Okay, and then I am going to just punch a hole to hide that blue wire, and the 1 wire go through that little hole. Okay, almost there. So in the back of my car, you can see there's 2 blue and the 2 white one, right? And remember the blue, we are going to connect the number 3 and number 4, that's the blue. And the white one is the red one, is the positive. We are going to connect 2 wire plus 1 paper clip. The reason I use a paper clip is the same reason that I use that little bread there, because the wire is too fine. Sometimes it don't have a good connection, the light will not turn on. So I found out paper clip because it's made with a metal. So if I connect that paper clip with the battery, it's just helping the wire will connect better, get a better connection. So I am going to just connect number 3, number 4, the blue wire. Here I have 2 blue, and then number 2, number 3 is the red wire, the positive with the paper clip. So what you do is you remove a little bit more those plastic wrapping and then twist them together, and I'll show you what do I mean. Okay, so that's what the back look like. See, I connect with that 2 positive white cable with a paper clip, and then that little braid for my foam boots is there, right? Because see how fine is that wire. If I only just want to connect with 1 wire, a little bit it is not connected, the light will not work. So now I use my whole paper clip, and then See how easy they can connect the lights on. So I'm gonna just glue together. You just have to follow that map, and I guarantee you can do it. Now I am going to put the tape and make sure everything is at the right place. Okay, this is the final project. See, here's the door, and that was that switch. And because it's the bread, you actually can adjust their height. So like this, and then when you push the door, the lights turn on. So if you want to keep the lights on all the time, you kind of just bang the door a little bit, and then they will stay there. Or you can put a little tape there if you want to keep the lights on. And then in the back, that's what it looks like. So I think I can do a better job if I later on want to hide those wiring. So I actually use a piece of copper tape to secure that paper clip on the battery. So this way the connections there, well, is much better. So it's beautiful project. For me, it's just for fun. If you have a special friend and you like to make this card for him or her, that will be wonderful. But this one does take a little bit time to work on that. And then this is a very important map. If you follow this instruction, I'm sure you can make it. If it's too complicated, forget about switch. Just check out other tutorial for the simple wiring. This one is a little bit more, but it's a fun project. Once when you get it, and then that's it. It's so much fun to add the lights on, and it's not that complicated. So this is today's tutorial. I know it's a little bit long, and I have a next tutorial ready. It's going to be a short one. We are going to use this step die to create the other different kind of pattern. And remember, this step die is on the special promotion. I'm actually offer 40% off plus the free shipping. The regular price is $34.99, and with 40% off is only $20.99, and it's a free shipping too. You will get the basic die cut, and plus these 4 beautiful corner. And so that's today's tutorial. I hope you like it, and we have a more tutorial coming soon. There's a 100+ tutorial ready to view. A lot of information, a lot of great tips, stamping techniques, and endless ideas. If you like this channel, helping us share this awesome channel by click the share button on the Facebook or the share button, and make sure you subscribe our YouTube channel, because we are going to have a big promotion coming in May. So thank you for watching. This is Lisa from Local King Rubber Stamp. See you next time.